Hello everyone, welcome back to Wandering with Jenny. Today, once again, super excited. Pretty much get excited over any travel talk. But this one here was a bucket list experience for me. And I will say this, it was one of the hardest things to plan because there wasn't a lot of solid information out there as to when everything was going to happen. So today, I'm going to give you the guide to one of the most amazing experiences out there, and that is the Lantern Festival in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the actual festival. So we have Peng and Loy Krathong. Peng is the actual release into the air lanterns, and Loy Krathong is the release of the water lanterns. Now, both of them are celebrated during the exact same time, both either same day if you're doing a tour, or it could be the next day, which is typically when the locals do it. So I'm going to give you a rundown on both ways that you can experience the Lantern Festivals. So the actual festival is held on the 12th month lunar every year. So the date actually changes. The first way that you can do it is with a tour. Now, what this is they actually go outside the city, they go to a massive field, and it's a huge mass release, which, don't get me wrong, it is absolutely stunning. If you have seen any pictures or videos of it, it really is beautiful. Now, if you're a photographer or a videographer, this might be the one thing that you want to do. But I will say this, it is super expensive. For a couple of hours or half a day, it's anywhere from, like, say $140 all the way up to $400 if you're looking for something that's a little bit more VIP. The other way is to do it with the locals, which is what I wanted. I wanted the actual local experience. So if you are planning on doing the local one, here are a couple of tips. Know the day. This was a big issue when, one, I was planning it, and two, even when I got there. They'll have dates, but for the actual festival, which lasts, I think, 3 or 4 days, there isn't a very well organized plan. So I will say this, day one is where you will go to the Three Kings Monument. And this is where the actual celebration begins. This is where the festival starts. This is the day. So when I was planning my trip, I had actually missed the morning part because I flew in the afternoon. I thought it was going to be the next day. It happened to be that day. So I missed the opening of the festival, which was a little disheartening, but still, it was such an amazing adventure. So then day two, so for this year, 2023, it's going to be held November 27th and 28th. With that being said, as you're traveling around the city, you're going to see a whole bunch of signs saying no lantern releases, da 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 da. The reason they say this is because they want to make sure that it is all done on the same day. Reason being is they actually have to close down the airports for obvious reasons. We're releasing thousands and thousands of lanterns in the air, so they close down the airports for that night. If you are doing the option one, where you're going to buy it and go out to the mass release, that one there, you will also get the Loy Krathong floating candle. With that being said, if you are planning on doing it the way with the locals, So you're going to be doing this just outside the city walls, which is Taipei Gate. This gate and the road, Taipei Road, leaves you out to, oh, I'm going to butcher this, Narawat Bridge. I can't pronounce it. I think I've tried like 20 times this morning and it's just not working. But this bridge here, one is actually a really cute backdrop, but this is where everyone comes that, you know, has just bought a lantern in town and they're just going out with the locals and a bunch of still other tourists. So tip number 3, your lantern. They are made out of paper, they are made out of wire, and then a candle on the center, and that's what raises it, obviously. If you are looking for something that is a little bit more eco-friendly, I would suggest buying ahead of time the bamboo ones. They do have them there. They're really hard to find. And when I was doing my research, everyone said that, oh, they're so easy to find. They are not easy to find. If you go down from the gate to the bridge, there are a lot of vendors that are selling them in all different sizes. I would definitely suggest, and they're, I want to say maybe a few dollars US for one lantern. So with Yiping, what this celebrates is a end to all the bad things that have happened and all the bad juju and all of the negativity. That's what this is about. And it's also about making a wish. You are asking for a good future, good positive vibes for the next year. So what they say is when you light your lantern and you release it, if it stays afloat, your wish will come true. If it crashes and burns, you are not going to have the greatest of years. I had actually met these 2 amazing women who were just absolutely fabulous and took me under their wing. One was an actual local who had moved there from the US, so she knew what was going on. And as I was doing my lantern, a Thai man and his son came and helped me because I was about to release it too early and they were like, no, no, no. So here's the next tip. When you light the ring underneath, you want to bring it to the ground. You want to hold it at the ground level until you can start, if you release your hands a little bit, it starts to float on its own. If it doesn't start floating on its own, put it back down. Now, it does time out. So if you are planning to do it, make sure that you have nice steady hands, light hands. If it starts to float, then take it up, give it a little push and make your wish. I forgot to make my wish. I was so excited that it just floated that I completely forgot. But I had a great year the next years. Mine stayed afloat, so maybe it does. Maybe it is true. So, Loy Krathong, again, it is giving homage to the gods. It is giving thanks to the goddess of water. And it is, again, also releasing all of that bad energy and wishing for good energy and good positive things for the future. Now, a couple of tips for this portion. I would suggest getting your floating candle from a temple. I had met another woman there at our hotel and her and I went down to do it together, and we had stopped at this temple and they were so friendly. They were so helpful. They actually gave us this cute little coin and it means good fortune, and we were able to take a picture with the monk. The next tip for this portion is that you need to make sure that you take off a piece of nail, a piece of hair, and a coin and put it into your candle when you light it and send it down the river. And again, if you are doing this like a local, you're going to be going down near the bridge. but you can do it right off the shore there. There's also a couple of restaurants that you can do it from where they have a little bit better docks, but if you're doing it with the locals, again, that's where they're doing it, is down by the bridge. So I'm just going to take a second and ask for your support. One of the ways that you can help Wandering with Jenny is by liking and sharing. It is free for you and it really helps me. So if you haven't already and you like this video so far, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe so you can see all of my future stuff. Thanks everyone. Back to Thailand. Okay, so a couple of other things that you definitely don't want to miss. That is Wat Phen Tao. This one here is where all of the younger monks actually come out and they light all the candles along this cute little river. Now I will say this, if you are going to do this, and this right here in the map is where this temple is, if you are going to do this, you need to be early. This is a huge attraction, not only for tourists, but a lot of the locals go there as well. So if you are planning on being front and center to get some of those amazing pictures, then you want to be like 2.5 hours early. There is no seating. It is standing room only. So wear comfortable shoes because you're going to need them. The other thing is the night markets. This part here I just absolutely loved. So there are two really nice night markets. Once you come out of Wat Phen Tao, you're actually going to come into a market almost right away, and plus you're going to be able to smell all the food and everything else. The next one is down near the bridge, and we had gone here on the night that we released the lanterns. They have live music, they have a beautiful market. Now I will say this, if you are planning on getting souvenirs, even if this is like your first stop, I would suggest getting a lot of your souvenirs from here. Reason being, it is like half the price here compared to what you're going to spend down in, say, Phuket or Krabi or in the islands, the southern islands. The next one that I wanted to suggest is if you like the temples. So everything here is decorated at this time with so many colorful lanterns, and there are a few temples that you definitely want to check out. Inside the city center you have Wat Chidi Lang, and I'm probably butchering these, so of course I'm going to have the name here. The next one is Wat Chiang Mai. Now this one here is really an amazing experience. While we were here, all of the young Buddhists were in doing prayer, and I've got to tell you, listening to it was, I have no idea what was said or sung, but it was so unbelievably soothing. So definitely you want to go here. So outside of the city, now you may want to get a tour guide if you want to, say, go up to Doi Sutep. That one there, of course, is probably one of the most popular ones. That's up on top of the mountain. The views from here are remarkable. You definitely want to check that one out. The next one would be Wat Among. Now this is not a super popular one, so it's not going to be super busy, but it's in this like lush green jungle. It's got these like tunnels everywhere, and you could spend probably an hour here. It's really, really pretty. Now another temple that is outside of Chiang Mai, which is in Chiang Rai, which a lot of people love because it is this beautiful white, I mean pure white temple. But if you can't make it there, I would say go to Wat Sonduk. It is a white temple. It again is just outside the city. I would say even from the city center, it's only about a half an hour walk. So if you're not doing a tour, but you still want to see that, it's really pretty, especially if you have a gorgeous blue sky behind you. One thing I would definitely suggest is checking out a elephant sanctuary. One of the one of the things I really wanted to do there was to check out a obviously ethical sanctuary. And one of the ones that I visited was the Elephant Jungle Sanctuary, and it was an amazing experience. This is probably the most ethical up in Chiang Mai, and if you want to have that experience and to feed the elephants and to hang out with them and watch them bathe and soak, and it really was an amazing experience. And as far as the ethical factor, I think that they are doing a phenomenal job. These elephants are rescued from those riding camps and farms and the work camps. I think this one here, if you are planning on doing a elephant tour, definitely check this one out. They're super amazing. Now, of course, it, like everything, ends with a parade. I definitely suggest, if you are going to Thailand, please make sure that you check out the Lantern Festival. It is crowded, it is busy, but it is a blast. And the locals are so super friendly. Thailand, the land of smiles, you cannot go wrong with it. So I would suggest get away from the tourist traps, go and do it with the locals. That is it, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope all this information I gave to you is helpful. If I've missed anything, which I may have, you can definitely go and check out my blogs at wanderingtravelerblog.com and go and check out all of the, I've left the links to Thailand for everything that I experienced in Thailand down below. So make sure you go and check those out. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for all of my future videos. And of course, if you think that anyone's going to benefit from this video, don't forget to share. Bye, everyone.